Take a look.
What's going on, guys? This is your boy Big Hero Chris back at you with another one. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, ring the notification bell, hit me up on Twitter, TikTok, the community posts. You already know the vibes. You can already feel the electricity. You can feel the mana. You can feel the goosebumps running up and down your body, because this is a big episode of Smackdown, because for the first time since the press conference in Las Vegas, we have The Rock, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and Seth Rollins all into the same building at the same time. But this week's episode of SmackDown kicked off with another star, Logan Paul. He comes out to the ring. He makes a big announcement that for the first time in WWE history, Prime, his drink, will be a sponsor of WrestleMania. And not only that, they're going to have a big giant Prime bottle logo in the middle of the ring for all PLEs. Starting at WrestleMania. He even brought out KSI. Him and KSI had a photo op, but they were interrupted by Randy Orton. And now Randy tried to get the RKO on Logan Paul. Logan Paul got out the way, but he got one waiting for KSI. Hit him with the RKO in the middle of the ring. Laid him out right on top of the Prime bottle logo, so that was pretty funny. And this led us into our opener tag team match between Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, taking on Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. And this was a pretty okay match. It was pretty dope, man. It was pretty cool. The ending was a pop-up RKO. Kevin Owens did the pop-up to Randy Orton, who had an RKO on, I think it was Austin Theory. So that was a cool spot. And even Austin Theory saw that shit like rent was due. So that was pretty cool. Now, what I'm thinking this is leading to is probably a tag team match between Randy and Kevin Owens taking on Logan Paul and KSI. It hasn't really been confirmed yet, but I think that's where they're going. I don't know if KSI can wrestle or if he can do what Logan Paul do. But that's going to be a pretty interesting dynamic if it is indeed the case, if my feelings are leading us into a right direction. Because Logan Paul's an athlete. We know, we've seen what he can do in the ring. But we've never seen KSI really wrestle. We've seen him take bumps before, like the RKO spot, or it's been put through a table. But as far as wrestling goes, we'll see if that is indeed the case. So next up, we had a backstage segment with Bayley. She's talking to Kayla Braxton about the whole damage control situation and how, you know, maybe she did deserve it. Maybe she did deserve being turned on by Dakota and damage control. But she was only doing what she thought was best. And she didn't really care if it offended anybody, if it hurt anybody, because she really wanted what was best for damage control. And you even cut to Naomi and Bianca Belair talking about this whole situation. Now, Naomi, she's feeling a bit sorry for Bayley. However, Bianca doesn't forget, the North doesn't forget as well. Bayley's been torturing Bianca since the pandemic. She's been on her ass for years. So, of course, Bianca isn't going to feel any sympathy or pity for Bayley. But Naomi, she hasn't been around. She's been out doing whatever. She hasn't really seen the full scope of the wrath of damage control. So she's more prone to feeling a little bit sorry for Bayley. But speaking of damage control, you cut to them. They're saying that Bayley was never a part of the plan, and that next week is going to be Dakota Kai taking on Bayley. So that should be a pretty solid match. And I'm pretty sure we might see a run-in from Naomi, or even maybe Jade Cargill, because, you know, she's been interacting with damage control a little bit too. But we're going to our next match between Bobby Lashley and Karrion Kross. And I was kind of hoping and praying that this would be the kind of the blow off, kind of the end between this whole Street Profits and Final Testament feud, because even though we got a cool entrance and a cool new theme from the Final Testament, we got the return of ALP, the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley have been doing stuff. They even got B-Fab in the mix. I kind of don't care about this feud as a whole. I'm just ready for this to end. But unfortunately for me, it doesn't look like it's ending anytime soon, because during the match, AOP attacked Bobby Lashley, then the Street Profits come out, and then you have Scarlett. She's trying to do some trickery, but B-Fab gets in her face, so they're all fighting, and it's looking like the Street Business is getting the upper hand on the Final Testament. But the odds are too great. AOP is too great, man. They end up beating all their asses right after Black History Month. It's terrible. It's terrible what they did. And then you even have Paul Ellering. He's standing at the top of the ramp. He has a white glove on, but on top of his white glove, you see his Hall of Fame ring. So that popped me a little bit. But there's never any feud between the Street Business and the Final Testament. It just never ends, man. It never ends. Speaking of the never-ending feud, we have Dragon Lee in the back. He's making his way out to the ring, but he's stopped by Legado del Fantasma, and Santos Escobar. He's getting into Dragon Lee's face. He's saying that Dragon Lee will never be the next Rey Mysterio. He ain't shit. He's a bitch. The LWO doesn't really care about him, and they're gonna have a match in the middle of the ring. Matchingly, it's going to be Angel Garza and Dragon Lee. And we'll just go ahead and talk about that match. It was cool to see Dragon Lee back. I don't know what his issue was. I don't know if he was hurt or anything. But he's had his first match back in a while. And he actually beat Angel Garza. And then after the match, the Legado del Fantasma beat up old Dragon Lee. And the LWO didn't come out to help. And, will that play into something in the future? Will Dragon Lee turn heel? I don't know. But one thing we do know is that Rey Mysterio will make his return to SmackDown next week. So be on the lookout for those shenanigans that will shenanigans so well, don't you agree? But we also had a match between Tiffany Stratton and Mia Yim. And this match, it was like a couple of minutes. It was, I don't want to say it was a squash match because Mia Yim was able to do something. But it was a bona fide squash match. Tiffany Stratton won. She's over with the crowd. Like each week she's getting more and more over with the people. They're down for Tiffany time. We're all checking our watches to make sure it is Tiffany time. Even though daylight savings time is coming, it will still be Tiffany time. She got the win with the prettiest moonsault ever. So, and this was the one woman's match, which is pretty unfortunate because this is International Women's Month. So yeah, we finally got the big explanation for why AJ Styles flew all the way to Australia to stop LA Knight from winning or be getting a chance at the World Heavyweight Championship. Simply put, he's a hater. He's pretty much a hater. That's hater activity, flying all the way to Australia just to stop a man from winning something. AJ said that LA Knight was, pretty much stepping on his shine. He was getting too big for his britches, so he wasn't feeling that at all. And then we get a response from LA Knight, who ultimately just beat up a television with a steel chair. So, yeah, I'm assuming that they will have a match at WrestleMania. Hopefully no tables or chairs or televisions will be harmed during this match. But this leads us to our main event segment between the Bloodline, The Rock, Roman Reigns, Solo, Jimmy Uso, the wise man who is going into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Paul Heyman. They're making their way out to the ring. The Bloodline comes out first. They do their thing. They're putting the ones up to the sky, and then The Rock's music hits, and he gets kind of an updated version of his entrance because I'm assuming he has the power of Black Adam still. There's lightning, the Brahma Bull's eyes flashing red, and like the lightning's flashing, and then Spotlight comes up, and then The Rock comes out, and it was just a cool visual of The Rock's entrance. Like, the way they updated it was really cool, man. I can't even lie to you. It's probably one of the best entrances I've seen in quite a while. So The Rock and Roman Reigns are out there. They're calling out Cody Rhodes and Seth. And Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins come out through the crowd like they're the Shield. Shout out to them. Seth Rollins came out dressed like a pillow for some reason. I don't know. He came out with the greatest puffer jacket of all time. So, shout out to him. So now they're in the ring. Cody Rhodes is saying that, even though they've been having beef, even though a lot of things have been said, this truly is an honor to stand in the ring with, such superstars, And before Cody and Seth can officially accept the challenge, The Rock tells them both to shut the hell up. He tells Seth to shut his mouth before he even starts talking. And then he goes over the rules once again that if The Rock and Roman Reigns lose to Cody and Seth, then the Night 2 main event will be Bloodline free. However, when the Bloodline win, the main event at Night 2 will be Bloodline rules. And as The Rock is talking, Seth Rollins actually steps up looking like my pillow. He says, will you shut the hell up to The Rock? He said he's had all this time to do his thing, but he won't let The Rock take it any more shine from anybody else. And then Cody, he starts egging things on a little bit. He says, I know you're the boss, but do you really have the authority? Because Roman Reigns is the tribal chief because you acknowledged him. And, they're trying to, do a little fanning with the flames, but The Rock's too smart for that. He has the mana. He's letting the mana flow through him, and he says that the reason he acknowledged Roman Reigns is because that's his family, and that's what family does. And then Roman Reigns starts cooking Seth Rollins, who accepted the challenge on behalf of both of them. Roman called him a cross-dresser. He said, "You're gonna let him talk to you like that?" And then The Rock says, "Listen, Cody, you need to watch your mouth when you talk to The Rock. You need to watch your mouth when you talk to the Bloodline." And he starts running down the Cody Rhodes family. He says that the Bloodline, they're doing this for the High Chief and, you know, Roman's grandfather. They're doing this for Dusty. And then The Rock says that Cody's sister used to be a cheerleader for the Dallas Cowboys. He said that Dustin Rhodes is going to be a future Hall of Famer. And then he said that there's a big gap between Dustin and Cody. And The Rock said it's because Cody was a mistake. And everyone went, ooh. And then Cody, he just had this look on his face like, you motherfucker. And then he slapped The Rock. Cody Rhodes slapped The Rock. And I'm expecting shit to go crazy. I'm expecting this to be a big brouhaha. I'm expecting the Bloodline to run through. I'm expecting Jey Uso to pop out of nowhere. I'm even expecting Sting to come out through the rafters. But we get none of that because the show ends. It just ends with everybody looking at each other, and I'm like, no, I need more. I need more cinema, man. Dude, give me more cinema. If you, Rock, Roman, if y'all want to show up on Monday Night Raw, not in Houston. Don't go to Houston. Come next week when they're in North Carolina, because I'll be there. You know, because it's a 3-hour show, and you can talk as much as you want. You can slap everybody. You can slap Adam Pearce because he blocked me on Twitter. Slap everybody. But that's how this week's episode of SmackDown ends. It ends with a cliffhanger, and that Cody and Seth accept the challenge. The Rock is gonna be on SmackDown next week, so we'll see what The Rock has to say about being slapped. He did another one of his 10-minute videos ahead of this week's episode of SmackDown, so I'm looking for more of the same next week. So that was this week's episode of SmackDown. What did you guys think? I'm gonna be honest with you, outside of the whole Bloodline situation and the whole Logan Paul introducing the Prime logo, it was an alright episode. It wasn't anything groundbreaking. The main thing you want to see is the Bloodline's return and Cody smacking straight fire out of The Rock. But with that being said, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Of course, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. You guys take care. Peace. I'm out. Peace.